thrilled when you're going to speak, because you draw out these amazing stories and these amazing quotes, and it seems like you've lived 100 lives rather than your own. I just want to follow around where you've been. You should write a memoir. Seriously. The first goal of this was to get personal and to tell a story. And you, when we spoke earlier, you mentioned that you have 3 stories, and you opted to tell 2. And I really think you could have just told 1, because you had such amazing language, such wonderful detail, and everyone was completely engaged. And I think you could have strung us along for the entire time with just 1 story. So I think you actually have 2 speeches, clearly 3. And I would love to hear all of them in their glorious detail. The quotes at the beginning, I like the repetition of when Pavarotti and when Bolero. I thought it was very effective. You talk about repetition and how very effective that is. You drew us in immediately with that amazing fact. But I felt like the first story, which I thought was the stronger, and I don't know if that's just because you gave it more time, because they both were very powerful. I felt like the first story was more powerful, but it didn't, in my mind, I missed the connection maybe, it didn't tie into that first quote. There was the Pavarotti concert, and that tied to the second story with the girl with the earrings. And I think it could have been stronger still if you tied those 2 quotes together. The building of the story, the 2 threads, I thought you did a fabulous job. We learned about the man who owned the ship through things, which I thought was really interesting, because he clearly was a man of things. He, the bowling alley and the food and the kitchen and the elaborate nature of the ship, and yet he was fixated on the fact that he didn't have the helicopter, and that was why he lost his wife, because the helicopter, which I'm guessing it probably wasn't just the helicopter. The description of the other man with the wrinkles on the back of his neck, the gnarled hand, and this purple skin on his arm, and the dark tanned hand. So many moments of just rich, rich language and vivid characters that you developed in different ways. I thought it was beautifully written, beautifully described and delivered. And also, I liked how you had the audience laughing at some point, and when you did a little whisper in his ear, it was incredibly effective how you whispered and had that level of volume, and yet everyone heard it. I don't think anybody missed it. So it was very sweetly done. You embodied that little girl character, and yet you have such amazing poise when you're up here too. So it shows your level of experience in the world. A few little tidbits for working on in the future. I've seen you speak before. You're obviously a very accomplished speaker. I missed you being out front. You were here, and I think that took away a little bit from your language. And also the entry and the exit, just never abandoning this, making sure you're ready to come in and to go. But always wonderful to hear you speak, and I hope we do hear all 3. Thank you.